Welcome to the Legends of Lanimora podcast. I am your Dungeon Master, Nathan. With me this evening I have Nova.
Heyo!
Emily.
Hello.
And Nicole.
What's up?
We are a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. In last week's episode, the party heard the full monologue that Kelvin gave to them from the Phoenix, saying that he knows that they are now in the Circle of All and that he wants them to say hello to Thenquill for him. For those of you who are unaware, Thenquill is the general one of the generals of the Unending Host and Tasvig Dubé's daughter. They found a ring that was around the Phoenix's leg, some sort of artifact around the Phoenix's leg that Drew found, and with their powers combined, they figured out that it was a ring of far speech, which would which lets Kelvin know where the ring is, but the ring doesn't know where Kelvin is, per se. What Saf is trying to do is trying to get Andy, her exo, her arcane armor suit, to find some sort of triangulation matrix in order to find out where Kelvin is by using this ring of far speech. She's not having a whole lot of luck. It's going to take a little bit of time to do that. If she had the proper data orb, she would be able to do this a lot quicker. So Saf got in touch with Yendak, who got in touch with them. Scar is inquiring Gonoleth, the consul of the Circle of All, about Amo Tulk, who the party believes it may be within the tree itself. So Gonoleth has he's working with the druids of Floral to try and talk to the tree and find out if Amo Tulk is in fact part of the tree. They have gotten through the introductions so far. In the day that they've been here in the middle of the Circle of All, Drew is drinking tea.
As per usual.
Oh, that's right. And she also was able to...
She ate a good berry, right?
Yeah, she was able to basically...
freebase a good berry.
She freeze-dried a good berry.
Yes.
So it can be used at any point in the future and retain its potency, which is pretty dope.
I created the first extended release Xanax. You're welcome. The Circle of All.
It's more of like an Aleve or a Tylenol.
Not with the way Karen reacted.
I was like, unless Karen's allergic to it.
That's right. I forgot. Karen. That's right. Yeah, good berries canonically are Xanax in this world. I forgot about that. How could I do that?
Calvin said something about the warrior, the general daughter of Tasvig Dubé was like, he was like, you'll see her soon, or like, say hi for me or something like that. And so we thought that she was coming, and then Yendek's bird with the package hasn't arrived yet, and we thought that was really weird. And then something, I guess, like we figured something out from the border or something like that.
Yes. So Calvin said, tell Thenquill I said hello, all right, at the end of his little thing, letting you all know that he knows where you are. So it stands to reason that Thenquill might be on her way if she's not there already. That's right. Gonoleth did send off a bird to Gizmo to try and get these data orbs so that you all can try and figure out where Kelvin is. And then Gonoleth he woke up in the middle of the night and he woke you all up and said that there was trouble on the border. And that is where the border of the Circle of All. And that is where we ended last week's episode. So let's jump right in. Gonoleth has just opened a tunnel in the tree. And he says this will be the fastest way to get to the border. It would take too long over land. Come on.
All right, let's go.
So you all descend into the tunnel. It's tight quarters. You all can stand fairly comfortably. I mean, Saf obviously can stand comfortably because she's a halfling. But even Scar with your horns, you just have to duck a little bit. And you are now underground. This apparently is a massive root system. The walls of the tunnel itself seem to be made of the roots of the tree, from what you can tell. However, it does look like a passageway, like some sort of corridor. So you're going along the length of this tunnel, and it is it's quiet. You can't hear anything, you can't see anything, but it's not like musty or humid or anything like that. It's fairly pleasant. It's like you're just walking down any hallway.
Is there enough room for me to like reach for my warhammer and have it like at the ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. So with you, it's the four of you. So Zapscar, Drew, Gonoleth, Asla is also there. Karen is there. No, Karen's not there. He's still pretty laid out from the Goodberry Xanax.
Is Sokoba with us?
Sokoba is with you, yeah.
Okay.
And she has her hood drawn because, she doesn't want to be seen or perceived as Sokoba because she is who she is. So, any questions, or do you all just want to get where you're going?
I kind of want to
Is my health back up to full?
Yeah, it's been like a day.
Okay, good.
You've all had a long rest.
We had like 2 long rests.
Yep. It's been a long time. Y'all were in the tree for a while waiting to hear anything from anyone. Figure out where that falcon was, figure out what's going on with the tree, figure out what, Yendak is saying back and forth because he doesn't know how to use a shell phone.
I mean, is there anything like discerning about the tunnel that we should know other than what you've already described?
No, not really. It kind of looks like the same tunnel over and over and over again. It's kind of
oh my God.
disconcerting.
Does it have offshoots or does it just keep going straight?
Nope, just straight tunnel. It gently curves in places, but as it curves, as you turn the bend, you then see what looks like the same stretch of tunnel in front of you.
Is it like it's forming for us? Or has it always just been this way?
Roll me a nature check. Let's put some rolls in this. I was just going to tell you, but...
Okay. Oh, okay. First roll with my brand new cherry 4-corner games dice tray. I'm so excited. Look at this beautiful masterpiece.
It's very good.
For those of you who are
gorgeous.
Only listening on the podcast, go to Twitter at 4Corner Games and look at their cherry dice tray because it's beautiful and you should buy one. So, first dice roll. And it's
a 1.
And it's a critical failure.
No, it's a 15 plus...
That's a pretty good roll. Respectable.
Plus 2, so 17.
Okay. Initially, when you got down here, it seemed like this had always been here like this. Like this was an escape hatch. But as you continue along the length of the tunnel, you are realizing, Scar, that there are micro noises that you hear, like roots burrowing through dirt in imagine a time lapse.
Yeah.
Type situation.
It's like it's forming for us. Like Godonlith is almost controlling it, or it's bound to him and it's opening for him where he wants to go or something.
He's not really doing anything, but you don't know of any other way that you would describe it other than how you just described it, because he is in the lead.
Okay,
so cool.
Can I ask Gonolith, what can we expect on the other side? Where are we going to come out of this tunnel?
Are you asking that as Saf, or is that your character voice, Nova?
Yes, it was.
I like how I ask that when I literally have forgotten what Gonolith's character voice is. I'm pretty sure it's changed every episode since he's been in.
I think he's just a super chill
super chill silver fox. Yeah.
So Are any of you faint of heart?
No.
I'll ask first.
We've been through some shit. Nope.
I melted an entire man.
Oh, okay. Well, then...
I didn't actually say
Oh my god.
Well, what you'll see...
That was Emily making a joke. God damn it.
Okay, well. Drew, see, this is why we need character voices.
This is true.
Drew's
Right.
character voice and Emily's character voice are the same.
You're right. She is me. I am sorry.
This is why we're doing new characters for season 3. I've decided. It's this and this alone.
This is the reason.
So Gonolith goes into what you can expect to see on the other side. So he's saying, so we'll be close to the border between the Circle of All and Gizmo Burrow. If the reports that I've heard are true, then one of the bridges has been destroyed to Gizmo Burrow. Fortunately, on the northern banks of the Circle of All, there are 2 bridges, so we just need to investigate, and it may be... Well, considering everything that's happened in the last few days, I would assume that this is the work of Kelvin.
It's a pretty safe assumption.
So there may be a good amount of carnage, so be warned. The bridges are large, and to demolish a bridge with the Guardians upon them would be a monumental task.
The Guardians?
Those that guard the bridges.
Oh, I was confused for a second.
You know that between all of the bridges between boroughs, there are representatives of each borough. They're not... some of them are the ranks of the mantles, some of them are just volunteers, depending on where you are, that would protect the bridge. At one time it was something that was necessary, especially in times when there was war between the boroughs, but in these times it's more a formality than anything else.
I think I asked this question when we did season 1.5 with Tora being from there, but does the Circle of All have mantles?
They do not have mantles, so to speak.
That's what their guardians would be, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's, they'd call them their guardians. And so, in this instance, you can't really tell if he's talking about the Guardians of the Circle of All, or if he's just talking generic Guardians of the Bridge.
Okay.
With the mantles and the volunteers and stuff. So he says that, if the bridge is out, there may be some sights that you may not want to see.
I feel like we've seen it all at this point.
So, looking at the map, I don't know, maybe I should screen share. Looking at the map, which bridge are we going to come out at? The left or the right one?
You do not know.
Can I ask Gonolith?
What would they call the north and the south one? Or that's weird.
Bridge 1 and Bridge 2?
They probably call it the East and the West Bridge. So there's 5 bridges that go in. There's the one that goes the Fellows and Circle of All Bridge. There's 2 that go to Gizmo Burrow, and then there's 2 that go to Ilar's Birth. Man, I didn't think about what the bridges were called. Why do you gotta make me give them names?
NameGenerator.com.
Thanks, Emily. Are those Empire symbol looking things gravity towers?
Yeah, those are gravity towers.
Okay.
Here, I'm going to name those bridges right now. So the one to the east, so the tippy top one, is going to be Bridge of Blossoms.
I like it.
And the western one will be the Rock Gear Crossing. The northernmost one is the Bridge of Blossoms, the one closest to the Gravity Tower.
This is east. So Bridge of Blossoms here, Rock Gear Crossing here.
Which one's broke?
So I got my reports from the Bridge of Blossoms.
That was the one that I like.
But is Drew making any sort of audible dismay of this, or is this just Emily's dismay?
No, Drew is also like, oh no, not the Bridge of Blossoms. I wanted to see it.
Don't worry about it. The bridge. Fortunately, this is the bridge that the Circle of All maintains. The Rock Gear Crossing is maintained by Gizmoboro. And the Bridge of Blossoms will regrow. It's a natural bridge.
Of course it will.
I love that. I'm picturing those like adorable nature crossings that they started making for like animals and stuff over like big busy roads. Like they're just like nature bridges for animals so they don't have to cross busy roads.
It is similar to that, but there is also a type of bridge that I'm thinking of. I believe it's in India where they grow them out of trees.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay. So there's that.
Cool.
Whoa.
It's vines and roots that span the expanse of the river, and it's massive. I mean, the scale that I've drawn on my map is wild. I really need to nail it down, but anyway, it's easily a mile across.
So how long does it take us to get to this place?
We'll get to that in a second. We do need to talk about Drew, though. Drew, you are feeling
some
something.
type of way.
Okay. What kind of
You
way?
feel
Hungry?
No, kind of. You feel hungry and sick to your stomach, but also
that's my vibe every day. Thank you.
like you have a fever. Almost like
and the
you're
only
hot.
prescription is more cowbell.
I was gonna say it. I was like, why would you just say that?
You feel hot, like you have a fever.
Okay.
But also you feel kind of euphoric at the same time. It's an odd combination of feelings.
Do I need to take my Goodberry powder?
Roll me a wisdom check.
I bet you it's because Ganalith mentioned that there could be carnage, and there's probably souls that she could be eating or something right now, or whatever it is that she does. Like,
I don't think that's what the shepherd wants me to do with the souls.
You want to eat these? Is that good for you?
Is that good for you? You said wisdom, right?
You said she was hungry. That's what the image I got was, that she's hungry for souls.
Wisdom.
You don't feel well enough to really have your wits about you in this moment to really figure out what is causing this. You just know that you're feeling uneasy.
Can I do a medicine check on myself? I am technically a cleric.
Sure.
Okay.
Now I have They Won't Lie Down. It's stuck in my head.
That's going to be 24 medicine.
Okay.
I am a cleric.
You are a cleric. You felt kind of like this before. It's an odd combination of the realization you had about the tree when you were walking up to it, mixed with the feelings that you get when you are using the power of the shepherd. However, it's different in the fact that this feels to be outside of your body, but you're somehow connected to it.
Yeah, I think Nicole is absolutely right. I think I sense the deadness. Can't I, like... Can I sense dead people? Do I not have that?
You have a grave domain cleric feature.
Okay, Haley Joel Osment. Like, I can see dead people.
So can I use that?
What? I don't remember what exactly it is. Do you have it up?
Isn't it?
It's like Eyes of the Grave or something.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I think you used it at the very beginning when we were at in the catacombs.
On the skeletons?
I did, and then Nathan was like...
Skeletons. You sense no undead.
Does nothing.
Yeah.
There are no dead people.
No,
Wait,
that's specifically undead.
Yeah.
That's different.
I think I said something like, using your working knowledge of what an undead would be like, but they aren't real. You use your working knowledge and theory to reach out, and it's inconclusive. Or something to that effect, is what I said.
This is different.
Well, this is new. I didn't know your healing spells always heal for maximum undying or stabilized targets. That's good to know. Just for, like, reasons. Just for, like,
Do you have any healing spells prepared there, champ?
I don't know. You can divine it's undead. You can divine the location of undead within 60 feet and a clear path until the end of your next turn as an action. Turn undead. And then Path to the Grave, see rules. But I think that Path to the Grave is also undead.
Yeah, so that wouldn't apply, because no one's undead yet.
Yeah.
Yet being an operative
I don't know.
word.
Let's find out. Hey, Nathan, can I sense any undead?
No, you can't.
Might as well. I still got it. But you're telling me I just feel weird.
You feel weird, uneasy, and like it's not wholly inside your body, it's partly out of it.
I'm gonna look back at everybody and be like, ooh, guys, I feel weird. I feel fucked up. What's happening? What is this?
Is that the Goodberry talking, or is that Drew talking?
No, this is Drew. The good berry is still in my pocket. It's safe and sound. But I feel fucked up. There's something going on in this area. Because I don't think it's me. I'm pretty sure it's an external force, but I have a feeling something bad is going to happen.
Gonoleth speaks up at this point and says, curious. I've not known anyone outside the druids to be able to sense the spirits of the dead.
Is that what I'm feeling? That would make more sense. I can explain no further to you.
How close are we to the...
I look at the thing on my hand like, okay, I feel it. Okay, it's the shepherd. He's talking. Tell me there's dead people. Okay, cool.
It's
Thanks, man.
uncommon for those outside the druids to hold... He stops walking now. To hold beliefs in spirits. And he continues walking.
Drew was like, I thought this was a walk and talk, man.
He stops for like just like 10 seconds tops, and then continues. We're close now.
Okay.
You've only been walking for like 10 or 15 minutes, and this is at the edge of the Circle of All, which should be like a day and a half journey. I think is what I said last time, or at least a day's journey. And you've only been walking for 15 minutes, and he says you're almost there, which is wild. Any other questions?
Love the big tree, TM.
So this is like one of those airport situations where you get on the moving escalator and it's taking you quicker than than you can normally walk.
Walking.
Yeah, if you just stand still, you're like at the same speed as walking, but if you walk, it's like double walking. It's one of those moving sidewalks. It's just moving routes. That's all it is.
I'm a walker on those, by the way. I don't understand the standing.
Yeah, I don't understand why people stand on that either.
I gotta go.
And then if you do stand on it, you have to stand over to the right so that people can pass you.
Rules of the road still apply.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
In America,
I don't make
yeah.
the rules.
Maybe in the UK, they stand on the left side.
That is wholly true, because when I was in the UK and I was walking in like crowds, it was switched like the roads are. I swear to God, it's crazy. Like it's
Shout out
real.
to the UK.
We love you. I miss you. I want to see you soon. I feel like, because Drew has said what she said, and Gonolith has said what he said about bad things and carnage and stuff like that, that I am just like fucking ready to like pounce on whatever is happening. Like I'm like on high alert right now.
Would you like ready in action?
Is Scar ready to smash?
Yeah, them little burbs didn't do it for me. I need real combat.
Okay. You Gonolith says that you're close, and then like a minute or two after he says that, you can see a light at the end of the tunnel. No, you see the end of this corridor that you've been walking for the last 15 to 20 minutes. And he puts his hand on the edge of the corridor, and as he does, you see like a veil of vines, like entangled, and he pushes them aside. And you see in the moonlight in front of you what once was the Bridge of Blossoms, and is now a broken Bridge of Blossoms. You also see, in the moonlight, you see the forms of bodies all around.
No.
And you see stones and boulders that all around that look like they shouldn't be there. As you look over the bridge, you can barely make out Gizmoboro on the other side, and you can hear the rushing water of the river below. The bridge truly does, or truly did, span a mile over this river, and you can see the river down below you. It's about 300 to 400 feet down from where you are. The Bridge of Blossoms kind of goes over the bridge at a high point between the Circle of All and Gizmoboro. And that is the scene that you are welcomed with.
Is Drew going to do anything about all these dead bodies that are lying around?
I was like, okay, so when I get into this area, do I feel like this is the source of my uneasiness?
Oh, yeah. So as you were getting closer and closer, you were getting more and more uneasy. And then it was like, as you stepped out and you actually saw the bodies lying around, it was like a clear bell rang in your head. And you felt it like in your chest, and all of that uneasiness went away, and you just felt what you can only describe as the spirits like all around you.
Ooh.
That sounds dope as hell. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. I know it should be like, ooh, spooky, but I'm like, ooh, spooky. Like it's different.
But you can feel all of these spirits around. You don't feel sick anymore, but you feel the latent energy of these souls all around you.
Cool.
And I feel like your hand probably instinctively goes to your grimoire.
Probably. I'm gonna take out my big old scary book of spells.
Roll me an insight, please, Drew.
Okay. 17. I was like 14 plus 3, not 18. 17.
You got it. Okay. As your hand touches the grimoire, you remember, and you kind of sense it now as well, that when Gonoleth was talking about spirits and the way that druids regard them, he might not take too kindly to you charging your grimoire in front of him. So you might want to try and be sneaky about it, or wait until he's gone.
Okay. I want to be sneaky about it.
She's gonna like step behind me and like
Yeah.
use me as like a human shield. Well, a tiefling shield.
Basically. Yes, that's exactly what happens. I'm gonna like kind of like step until I'm kind of behind everybody. I'm gonna use Scar as like a human shield and try to like open my book up.
Okay, roll me stealth with advantage, please. Scar is large enough to grant you advantage.
I was just gonna say, like,
2.
I'm a tank, so
Because my first roll was a 2.
I'm a beefy babe.
My second roll is 15 plus 2, 17.
Okay. You're able to completely hide yourself from Gonoleth and Asla, both. And
oh yeah, I don't want my girlfriend to know I'm a witch. Absolutely not.
Crush.
Not yet. True, crush. True. I don't want her to know I'm a witch yet. That's like a second date thing.
So you open the book, your soulbound grimoire, and as you open the book, you see streaks of light flying into it, Drew.
Cool.
It's the same energy as most of your magics, where it's purple and black, and it just rushes into your book, like so much of it that it's like you feel like everyone can see this too, and that you're lit up like a neon sign.
How many fucking dead people are there? This is not good.
But looking around, no one else seems to notice the lights.
Okay, reduce, reuse, recycle. Let's go. Okay. I'm good with that.
Can she tell how many there were? Like, that's not good. Was this a lot of that sounded like a lot.
It gets to the point where the grimoire can only hold so much, and like the rest of the light just kind of waves crashing over a half melted sand castle.
Oh, okay. Can I roll, I guess, perception to see?
You want to see if you can see it?
I don't know what's going on because she's behind me and I'm fixated on the fact that there's a lot of dead bodies, or from what I can tell, there's bodies because it's dark.
We've turned our attention to the bodies at hand.
I want to know if anything's moving or alive, or if I can see what caused this.
Okay. So you're rolling an investigation?
Yeah. Is it investigation, I guess? Yeah.
Yeah, let's investigate.
I too would like to do this, except I would like to look for that plus any specific adversaries.
That's a 19.
Okay. Sap, what did you get?
7.
All right, Sap, you are a little spooked. You're pretty sure that there are people in the trees. You're feeling a little paranoid. But you look at some shadows and you realize, no, it's just my nerves are getting to me. This is I mean, a lot of carnage. Like I'm trying not to be too graphic with it, so we don't have to put a disclaimer on this episode. However,
is it like in the in Mulan, that hard left turn?
Yeah, where they show up at the village, where it just
yeah,
they're singing a cute little marching song, and then all of a sudden it's like
worth fighting for, and then it's like,
it's that exact feeling, and it's just your heart drops in your chest, and you just it's bad. It's bad. And
God.
In all of the other places of the Circle of All where everything's been like pristine and, perfectly manicured, but to the point that it's not manicured because it's nature. It's, overgrown and lush and everything is perfect. It looks like there's been a stampede that's run through here, and there's, boulders all over the place. Scar, you realize that these boulders aren't naturally supposed to be here. You don't see any movement among the people that are around the bridge, and the animals as well, because there are both humanoid figures and animals here.
Can I see what caused this?
There's nothing around. If there was something here, it's not here anymore.
Fuck. What does Gonolith say?
He has gone off to where the bridge is broken, and he's overlooking the bridge.
I'm going to follow him.
Okay. Asla is there with them, and they're talking in hushed tones. As you come up, you hear Asla say, "Well, if we want to figure out what happened here, we'll have to figure it out quick. The bridge will regrow rather quickly." "Yes, you're right. We should." Scar, it looks like we didn't get here in time. I'm sorry you had to see this. We brought you all here for nothing.
I'm going to say, well, it wasn't for nothing. We needed to know what was going on. I'm sorry that this happened to you, to hear.
It's not your fault.
Is there any way to track what did this?
He takes a deep breath and sighs. We'll have to look for any survivors, any first-hand witnesses that might be able to tell us what happened. We should move quickly before the circle reclaims those that were lost.
What does that mean?
Okay.
Yeah. It's like that whole death is like a natural thing. That it's probably like when things deep.
I get that, but he says we have to move quickly. So is this like a thing where the vines or something come up and just take everyone?
I wouldn't doubt that.
Like Devil's Snare.
Perception or a nature check, please, Drew.
Okay. Things I'm very good at. Perception, yes. Nature, no. I'm going to go with perception. And that's going to be a dirty 20.
Okay, you see, looking down at your feet, that where there is carnage and it looks like it's been stampeded, all the brush has been moved aside, you can see the plants growing back. And you can see the plants reclaiming the bodies, basically, that are here.
What? Stop it.
Can I... First of all, can I fly 25 feet up and roll a perception to see if there's anyone or anything still moving? And does that get me an advantage because I'm up in the air?
Well, it's dark. It depends on how high up in the air you're going.
Well, it would be... I would say 30 feet.
What specifically are you looking for? Like humanoid shapes? Are you looking for just anything moving?
Anything moving. I'm particularly worried about Greg. Maybe if there's...
This isn't where Greg is. Oh, that Greg. Sorry, the Falcon.
That Greg.
There's another Greg?
Greg wouldn't have flown this way if he took the way that the crow flies. He would have gone over a different path.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I'm going to fly 30 feet up in the air and percept.
Okay, perceive.
17.
And you're looking specifically for anything moving or anything that may give you...
Might still be alive, basically.
You do not see anything from your vantage point on this side of the circle. Or on this side of the bridge, I should say. But you do notice that on the other side of the bridge, being up a little higher, up above the mist that the river creates at this time of night, that it looks like there's some movement on the other side of the bridge.
Can I fixate on that and move closer and find out what that's about?
It's a mile away, so I'll let you know that. I'm not saying no, but I am saying it's a mile away.
Okay. Should I roll another perception?
Well, how close are you trying to get?
To where Gonolith and Asla are, at the foot of the bridge, I guess, where it's broken.
Well, that distance from where they are to Gizmo Burrow's side is a mile. So, I mean, if you try looking a mile out, like in real life, you can't really see too much.
It's true. I don't know. I'm going to descend to Gonolith and Asla and Scar, and I'm going to say, it looks like there's nothing moving anywhere around here.
Yeah, I got the same vibe.
Gonolith says, "No, I'm afraid not. We were too late."
Is there any way to tell what did this? Like some kind of check or...
Roll me...
Like, I have a feeling that I know that the bolt from my investigation that the boulders aren't supposed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that they've used Amogelt. Is that who? The Everflame Amo? The one that was in the shade pocket?
The corrupted one.
Yeah. So, like, I have a feeling that that's possibly what did this, because they did have control over that. But, so what would I have to roll?
Roll me a history check. Because you've seen Amogel, and if you think that Scar would probably make that line of thought as well as you have. So, roll me a history to see what you remember.
21.
Okay, you recall Amogel in the shade pocket. Because it was so large, you feel like as close as you are to this carnage, you feel like you should be able to see it. Because, it's basically bright white. And it being so dark, you feel like if it's around, you should be able to see it. It can't have gotten that far.
Okay. So that's not what did this.
And you don't recall Amogel attacking with boulders either.
Is there anything I can glean from my roll that I could tell what could have caused this? Like, because I'm a mantle, I'm sure I'm familiar with a lot of, like, weaponry that, like, people would have in their arsenals, like catapults or, like...
Yeah, roll me an investigation with advantage because of your knowledge of siege weaponry.
Does the trajectory match that of a catapult?
Okay, so advantage means I can take the higher roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 16. And what did you say? What was the roll?
Investigation.
17. 18.
Okay. You are looking at these boulders and you are fairly certain that they've come from siege weaponry of some sort. However, what's puzzling you is if the Bridge of Blossoms was made of living wood, basically, how could it have been demolished as completely as it has been? There's a disconnect. Like, yeah, this was siege weaponry, but how could siege weaponry, reduce this bridge that's basically roots and branches and vines in the amount of time it took us for Gonala to get the reports and for us to get here, basically, because siege weaponry takes a long time. So you're confused.
Huh.
But you have gleaned that the boulders are from siege weaponry.
Can I tell where they came from?
Yeah, I'll say with that roll, you can tell that they came from the other side of Gizmoboro.
And we can't see that far, right? I can't see a mile. Is there? So can I? I'm sharing all of this, like I'm talking to while, like you were telling me, I was telling them, all this stuff, and maybe like they can send a scout or something across the other side to see if they can see anybody over there or something.
Well, we could. Asla, would you like to take a look? Are you take an avian form, correct? It's not my favorite, but I'll do it. And she stretches, and as she stretches, she turns into a crane.
Oh. Such a beautiful, graceful birds.
Yeah. She stretches. She's now a crane.
Of course she is. God,
and she takes flight and goes across to the other side.
Can I go with her, or would I not be able to keep up?
You can try and keep up. You could say I'll go too. I mean, it doesn't seem like they don't suspect, that you wish them ill intent. I mean, Gonala let you in his home. You think he'd be cool with it?
I don't know if I want Safina flying that far away from us with this situation. I'm just saying. I don't know if I want Safina flying that far away from us with us not knowing the situation. Like, we don't know what's
If you hold
happened.
on too tightly, you're going to crush the relationship. I'm just saying, her dad tried to tell her what to do, and now she's out here in the circle of all with a bunch of dead bodies.
Doing what her grandfather would do. I'm going to also call my dad on his shell phone and be like, Dad, what's going on in Gizmoboro? Do you have any idea? And
didn't you already use your thing for this? Because the last message you sent was, did you send the bird? And that wasn't...
Yeah, you have used your shell phone today.
You only got a certain amount of minutes. You have to wait till after 9.
It is after 9. But, so yeah, you can't use your shell phone to talk to your dad, unfortunately. But you can fly over there with Asla if you'd like.
Okay, I'd do so.
I hate this.
Okay, so you are going and you see the water down below. You see where the bridge has fallen into the water. You can see bits of it kind of poking out, and it looks like it's been shredded apart, It looks like it's like a branch that sent through a wood chipper but didn't go through right. And so that's interesting. I'm not going to tell you what to think, but to me it's interesting. Asla is flying over. She's kind of taking a wide berth around the where the bridge is. You imagine that she's doing that so that she can avoid any, siege weaponry or anything like that that's over there. You get to the other side. You're in Gizmoboro now. After a little bit of flying, and you see no trebuchets, no catapults, nothing, no ballistas. There is no siege weaponry. You see a lot of artificers looking like they're trying to escort people from the bridge to the into inns and taverns immediately inside of Gizmoboro. It looks like it's people helping, trying to get those that are injured away.
Maybe.
Okay, I'm going to fly up real quick to the closest person and ask, "Hey, what happened here? What's going on?"
It's a dwarf woman, and she goes, "Oh, what? Wow! Where did you came from the sky? Oh, okay. You're not one of them, are you? You're not one of the ones with the giant creature, the one that attacked the archives?
Why do you ask?
It destroyed the bridge. It destroyed the Bridge of Blossoms.
Where is it then?
It just disappeared. It was here 1 minute and then gone the next.
Well, what did it do exactly?
It ripped the bridge down and started throwing boulders across into the circle of all.
Where did okay, this is going to sound really strange. Did a shade pocket open up?
What? No, there's no shade pocket forecast for Gizmoboro for another week yet. No,
okay,
but
no where did pocket. It just popped into existence?
It was here 1 minute and it was gone the next. And the bridge is gone. I don't know how many people are harmed on the other side. Did you come from the circle?
That's confidential.
What?
That's classified. I'm just here to gauge the damage. I'm here to assess the damage to this side.
Here's the damage. There's got to be hundreds dead. It's horrible. There were people on that bridge, and now they're down in the river. We're doing the best we can to help the people here, but that monstrosity took down the whole bridge like it was nothing.
Aren't you asking what it looked like?
God.
You're not
it's the
there,
ammo.
Nicole.
No, but Nathan clearly said earlier that it was bright and white and stuff like that. So
she said it was like the monstrosity that took out the archives.
Probably an unrelated incident. I say that in character. But what did this one look like?
It was big and made of stone. It had to have been 150 feet tall.
Okay, did you get a look at its face?
The face? I wasn't worried about the face. I was just worried about this bridge coming down. I was trying to get people over here. I got, there's merchants and the druids that are come across into Gizmoboro, and I'm just trying to usher people into the inn. I wasn't getting a look at its face.
But were there lights?
Where are the local mantles?
The Gizmoboro mantles? They're here helping. They're all around. And you see a few copper mantles kind of mulling about. Not a whole lot. And they're not mulling. They're helping. They're actively helping.
They're not enforcing martial law amongst these people.
No, it doesn't seem so. It seems like this is, I'm not going to tell you. That's what I was going to tell you.
He said, I'm not going to tell you.
Why aren't you asking about life?
And you haven't rolled any die.
Okay, I'm going to do several things here. I'm going to do an insight on the pandemonium. Okay. And a perception on if there's any trace of where the ammo went. Or would that be investigation?
That'd be investigation.
Investigation.
You're actively looking for a specific thing. I think perception's just like, let me take in the area.
Okay, so my investigation then is a 23, and my insight is a 10.
Okay, your insight into the pandemonium. So you're talking like, are these people truly, are they really upset by this, or are they just acting? Is that what you mean by insight on the pandemonium, or are you talking like?
I'm trying to see like if the mantles are organizing in such a way where it looks like they're trying to take control of not the situation in like a bad terminology, but like take control of the situation, like declare martial law.
Okay, so the mantles look like they're basically organizing the people and helping direct people, in what to do. They've had the training in, this disaster recovery and disaster relief, so people are going up to them and asking what to do, and the mantles are saying what needs to happen. So it doesn't seem to be any, like they're trying to keep people away or anything like that. They're just trying to help.
Okay.
As for the investigation, you hear this woman's story, and I imagine you're flying down into by where the river is to see what's going on. For your investigation.
After I talk to the woman, yeah, sure.
Okay. So you go down into the river. You don't see any trace of where an Amma would have been.
Can I roll an Arcana to see if there's any magic about?
God, I was waiting for that. I'm just literally sitting over here frustrated as fuck that I'm not the one that's able to ask these questions.
Hey,
you want some good berry, Nicole? I got some powder.
It's a 21.
21 for any sort of leftover energies.
Yeah, and if I could pinpoint it, maybe.
Okay. You're getting some weird vibes from one section of where the bridge was. You're getting some latent illusion magic. You're picking it up. Andy notices it too, and they say, that's weird. This shouldn't be here.
I go over to the source and is it where the bridge is broken?
No, it looks, let me make a reconstruction. Andy in your visor makes where the bridge would be based on her maps and everything, and they say that mapping latent energies. And it kind of looks like a 3D printer going. And like Breath of the Wild too. Hey, dun 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 dun, like that. And you see that where the latent energy is, there is a form of an ammo.
Okay, I'm going to have Andy store that information.
File saved.
And is there any way that I can? Is there any way that I can rotate it and maybe like roll a history to see if I can remember if this is Amo Gelt?
Yeah, roll a history for me. Yeah,
Search.
you can roll it all around. You got a completely 3D view of it.
Okay.
I have a theory.
That's an 11.
Okay, well, that's fine. You don't need a very high roll for it. It's amorpheric.
Hate that.
How?
Hate that. Hate it. I don't like that.
Shit, how? I'm just gonna throw my theory out there, just so everyone hears it. I think that they used a shade, because we know that they, from what Tora and Maxine and Pax have told us about their time with the Order of Alteration, and we know that Saloran runs it, or whatever, that they have access to those Shade Ripper things. I think maybe they figured out a way to rip shades bigger. And they,
I mean,
I don't know how
that she said she didn't see a shade pocket. She just saw the Amo appear. So I think you're on the right track. I think because Nathan also said that there was illusion magic. So what I'm thinking, what?
I was just going to clarify some stuff, but
clarify away, my friend.
Please do.
So as far there's been a lot of time between, like real life time between the Shade Pocket episodes, where you saw Amo Gelt, and the Shade Ripper episodes from season 1.5. So the differences between Shade Pockets and all of that and the Shade Rippers. The Shade Ripper, it looks like a physical, like I am tearing into the fabric of the shade itself, and I'm slipping between the material plane and into the shade, right? The Shade Pockets themselves don't look like that when they occur. They just look like, it just looks like a dark spot in the sky. It kind of feels more like a really bad thunderstorm than it does a Shade Ripper.
And I'm saying that because we know that the Shade Rippers exist,
mm-hmm.
and because this thing seems to have popped up out of nowhere, and we know that it's kind of like that with the Shade Rippers, that you're able to just go in and out, like, and you could barely see it, like it's such a thin veil,
right?
Yeah,
that it could have easily been missed by someone's eyes because it was dark out.
Yeah, so that was the clarification.
So my question is, why the illusion magic? What was being illusioned?
Yes, my theory is that someone was trying to make it look like Amorpheric had returned, and
that was my next thing, was maybe the illusion
conjured the illusion of Amorpheric. Because
that's how they used the Amorpheric incident in the archives to stir up all of this, like, you know, this is why we need the triumvirate, because look what happened in the archives.
Which is why she asked me if I had anything to do with the archives, or if this was the same situation with the archives.
So I think they used the illusion magic to make it look like Amorpheric, so that the story of the archives would be more believable, and they could get more burrows under their control.
You're right.
Okay, at this point, I've flown back to Scar and Drew, and we've had this conversation where I divulge the information that I've just discovered, and Scar and Drew make their assessments as well, and we bring it to Gonolith.
Man, if they can shade rip a whole fucking Amo, we're fucked. That's all I'm thinking.
I don't think they shade ripped, though. I think they just, like, powerful magic just made the illusion of an Amo and destroyed the bridge.
No, I think that they shade ripped into exist. I think that the Amo shade ripped to where it needed to be, and destroyed it. And they used the illusion magic to make it look like it was Amorpheric, and then shade ripped the fuck out. Like, it wasn't like they can't just make the illusion of all these dead bodies. That's not the illusion. The illusion was that it looked like
that's
Ferric.
Not what they're saying. I get what they're trying to say, and that was my first thought too. Because Nathan also said, unless you want to clarify something else, Nathan also said that the boulders that you saw, because you could see the boulders, you have knowledge of artillery things, that you know that those are from like artillery weapons. You don't see any, but those are from artillery weapons. The person that Saf talked to said that the Amo was throwing the boulders at the people or at the bridge. So what I'm thinking is they did the shade rip, cast an illusion of Amorpheric throwing the stones, but it was actually artillery weapons throwing the stones.
Ooh.
They sealed it back up. Goodbye, Amorpheric. And so it's like he's coming and they're using him as the face while they're doing the destroying.
Gotcha.
That's what I was thinking.
So you've all had this conversation, and I imagine all parts of that conversation with all of your theories and everything. And Gonoleth is standing there. He doesn't look like he's doing well. It looks like he's kind of leaning on his staff a little more. And Asla has come back as well, and she's human again.
Human again. We'll be human again. I can't help it. I can't.
And at this point, while you all are talking, right as you're getting towards the end, Gonoleth actually falls to his knees. And Drew, you feel a tingling.
In a good way?
No. No, it's not a good way.
Okay. Do I need to roll to figure out what I'm feeling?
No, because a lot of things happen at the same time. So Gonoleth has kind of collapsed. He's fallen down. Drew is feeling these feelings, and you all simultaneously hear a wild fucking sound. It sounds like I don't know if any of your characters have heard this, but it sounds like a rock slide happening. And you can feel the ground starting to shake, but it's not close. And Gonoleth says, I think the same thing is happening over at the other bridge.
Oh no.
At the Rock Gear Crossing. We have to go now.
How far is it?
Oh my god. Can we get there faster? Can you guys fly?
It's pretty
Let's
far.
get involved, but can you just go see what it looks like? Saf, can you pinky fucking promise me that you will not get involved and fly over there?
Send her there.
Listen, we need someone to perceive. If we run.
Yeah, I zoom over there.
Okay.
As quick as I
she
can.
goes, I make her pinky promise me that was not a joke. Pinky promise me that you were not going to get involved.
I won't get involved. Let me go.
Don't touch. We look with our eyes, not with our blasters.
How far away is this place?
It's 10 to 15 miles away. But flying's quick, right? Also, you can see from a distance. So the sun's starting to come up now. Dawn is breaking, and you and Asla wild shapes back into her crane form, and you all fly to the southwest to get to the Rock Gear Crossing.
Who's you all? Because not all of us can fly.
Saf and Asla.
And how do we get there? And
you don't. That's just Saf and Asla.
You don't. Quick thing. before, during that pinky promise, can I say that I cast guidance on Saf?
Yes.
You touch one willing creature once before the spell ends. The target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of its choice. It can roll the die before or after making the ability check.
You said a d4?
A d4.
It's
not much, but it's all I got.
How can we get there?
You wouldn't be able to, not in time to see what's happening.
We'd run, so we'd show up later, but she just needs to go see what's happening because none of us saw it.
So what I'm asking is, while they're flying, how are we going to be going there? And is there also another fucking tunnel that can get us there faster?
Gonolith isn't feeling well. No one's checked on him. No one's seen if he needs any juice or anything.
Okay, I'm the cleric. I'm gonna go over. Can we go? I'm gonna ask him, you doing all right? Do you need anything? I am technically a doctor.
Roll me a Constitution check. Damn it, that's all. Roll me a Constitution check, please, Drew.
I'm also going to say that I cast Haste.
18.
Okay. Sonic booming. All right, you feel this tingling getting worse, but you're able to hold off the feelings of wooziness, and you bring yourself, you collect yourself, and you're like, I'm technically a doctor.
Technically a doctor.
So you can do a medicine or something on Gonolith.
Is she tingling because he's dying or something? I don't like this.
My medicine is 15 plus 7.
Okay,
22.
Yeah, you place your hand on Gonolith's shoulder, and as you do, you can tell he's not dying. You've got that much figured out. But there's a weird thing that happens when you physically touch him. It's an understanding type moment where it was similar with the tree.
Mm.
And a lot of puzzle pieces are starting to come together in your grave domain necromantic cleric mind about the nature of everything.
This is all one living thing kind of situation?
Yeah. You realize that he collapsed and you tingle like this because he's feeling the effects of people close to him coming into harm, and you're feeling it because you're feeling
I'm an empath.
You're just an empath. Yeah. No, you feel you're starting to recognize it now more. Okay. Being so close to such a huge amount of death, this is kind of like the calm before the storm, that tingling. So you interpret that as souls are about to be released.
Ah, fuck.
Shit.
Should we
I don't have any normal.
Gonolith is he's physically spells. Okay. He's just he's semi-incapacitated because of his connection with nature and those around him.
How big is he?
He's an elf, so he's not super tall, 5 feet. You could pick him up.
I was just gonna say that. I'm gonna pick him up. Let's go. Just scoop. Do I have to make a strength check or something?
No, he's an old man. He's not heavy. Elves just aren't heavy in general.
I fucking just fireman toss him over my shoulder, let's
Maybe
go.
A little more gently.
Obviously.
And you are wearing dragon scale armor.
Ah, fuck. All right. So I cradle him gently without hurting him, and we go.
Okay. Cool. So you all are leaving. He's physically fine. He's just feeling some type of way. Saf, flashback over to you. You cast haste, and you have guidance on.
And I'm dashing. If I could dash fly.
I was going to say, how does that work?
You're just going really fast. We're not in initiative order or anything.
You go real fast.
You're zooming. You do that thing that, in all the superhero movies with anyone who has a flight suit where you hit a sonic boom and you're going. You get over to the rock gear crossing. You can see it pretty quickly. It's only like a few minutes, not even, maybe a minute before you can actually see it. And you see that the rock gear crossing is a lot lower. It's a lot closer to the river. And you can see what looks like Amorpheric just pummeling this bridge. And it's just crumbling into pieces. And you imagine that this is what that sound was. As all of these rocks are falling, these pillars are coming down. It's all coming down right into the river. It's making like a makeshift dam right there, here where it is. And then he's gone.
Can she perceive?
Can she
perceive? We're all too invested.
Can I, as soon as I see that it's Amorpheric, can I try and make a mental connection?
That's not where I would have gone with that.
I'll say that as you get close enough, you can see that something is happening, but you feel like you're in range because you were farther away in the archives when you were able to ping him. So yeah, you reach out mentally to contact Amorpheric. And you don't feel him.
I was going to say, I don't know why you're doing that. We know it's not Amorpheric.
You don't feel Amorpheric. And then it vanishes.
What do you see, though? Like, do you see a shade rip? Do you
I gave you a 4... I gave you a D4 for a reason.
I'm like, ah!
Yeah, so I'm going to roll to see if I see that.
What do you see?
Roll me a perception or an arcana.
I'm stressed. I'm not used to not being able to be, like, in control of a situation.
That's a 21.
For what? Perception or arcana?
Arcana.
Okay. As what you're calling Amorpheric disappears, you and Andy come to the same conclusion at the same time. This is the same energy signature, the same illusion magic is dissipating. It is made to look like he's exiting through a shade rip. And that's where we're going to end this week's episode.
Hate that.
Thank you all so much for tuning in to the Legends of Lanimora podcast. I had a great time DMing. I hope that my players had a great time playing, and I hope that you, listeners, had a great time listening. At the end of every episode, I name a lull and a legend. And the lull this week is going to be... I think the lull this week is going to be me, because I think you all did a really good job today, and I don't think that you all had any lull-worthy moments. I mean, there was fun stuff.
I feel like the lull can be someone who made the funniest joke. I feel like that's funny. Like, that's part of it. Like, who's the class clown?
That was what it was last time when it was me. That was the lull, because I did something. I said something ridiculous or whatever.
I don't remember jokes a lot of the time, and this wasn't really a joke-heavy episode. It was a little heavy.
I'm funny.
You are funny.
Then give me it.
Yeah, Drew. If you want to be the lull this week, that is perfectly fine. If someone wants the mantle, I'll take arguments.
Okay, fine. Give me it.
Yeah, you got it.
That's how we're doing this. You can't remember my funny jokes. Sounds like a you problem.
And the legend this week, I'm torn between all three of you. I think it's going to have to be Saf for getting over to the other bridge quickly enough and having the wherewithal to just get up and go, like, immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, it's going to have to be Saf for getting up and going to the other bridge.
That's fair.
I mean, it doesn't hurt that she's got this fucking super flight suit. Like, that's...
It's helpful.
Yes, it is helpful. So thank you all so much for for tuning into the Legends of Lanimora episode 8. If you want to reach out to us on social media, you can do that somewhere, right, Nicole?
You can. You can go on Twitter to @LanimoraPod and check out all the dope stuff that we post over there about our episodes and memes and fun stuff. If you want to talk to me personally, you can find me @Nicole the Nerdy.
You can find me at _NovaGamer.
I'm @NeuroticGood.
You can find me at _SquidToaster.
We also have a website, novistudio.io. Ton of cool stuff up there, like an About section where you can get to know us, our seasonal champions. You can find all of the content that we create through Novi Studios up there, like our different streams on Twitch and all that stuff. My favorite thing that's on our website is our merch store.
Our merch store. We have so many cool things. We have mugs, so many mugs. We have got shirts. We have got pants. We have got... Do we have fanny packs yet?
We don't have fanny packs yet.
Okay. Soon to have fanny packs. We have...
I want a Legends of Lanimora fanny pack.
We've got cropped hoodies. We have regular hoodies. Depending on how much belly you want to show, we got you. If you want to head on over to our merch store, we also have the Pact of the Shepherd, if you want to be better versed on that than I am. And you can listen to the prequel campaign, which is set in Tor. If you listen to our podcast, you know what that is. And you can hear exactly what went down between Kelvin and Dr. Milo.
We'd love if you could leave us a quick review on your podcasting platform of choice as well. If you enjoy the show, tell your friends about us. New episodes come out every other Tuesday, so stay tuned.
Yes, please stay tuned. Also, watch the Twitter. We have some announcements coming up soon. This episode releases on... Shoot, I just had my calendar up. This episode releases on May 25th, which means that we're very close to June and the launch of our newest offering through Novi Studios, which is the talk show Let's Talk About It.
Yay!
So keep your dial tuned to Novi Studios Twitter. That's how radios work. And that show is going to be coming out soon. Also, be sure to check out every other week that we are not on our sibling podcast, City in Snow. It's ramping up. It's happening. Go listen to it over on your podcast of choice, City in Snow, or at Twitter at City in Snow. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And don't forget, let's be legends.
Let's be legends.
Let's be legends.
Let's be legends.
We're so bad at this.